Welcome to our Wednesday morning reflection and short Bible reading. You can see the Advent candles, four of them are lit behind me. We're in the week before Christmas, and this is for our communion service on Wednesday, the 23rd of December. I hope this finds you well. And so our reading from the Bible, which is from Luke chapter 1, verses 57 to 66. When it was time for Elizabeth to have her baby, she gave birth to a son. Her neighbors and relatives heard that the Lord had shown great mercy, and they shared her joy. On the 8th day they came to circumcise the child, and they were going to name him after his father Zachariah. But his mother spoke up and said, "No, he is to be called John." They said to her, "There is no one among your relatives who has that name." And they made signs to his father to find out what he would like the name of the child. He asked for a writing tablet, and to everyone's astonishment he wrote, "His name is John." Immediately his mouth was opened and his tongue set free, and he began to speak, praising God. All the neighbors were filled with awe, and throughout the hill country of Judea people were talking about all these things. Everyone who heard this wondered about it, asking, "What then is this child going to be?" For the Lord's hand was with him. How lovely that just before our Christmas celebration, that the reading set for today includes Elizabeth, the mum of John the Baptist, whom our church community is named after. It is the story of God at work in a miraculous way. Elizabeth, a woman of older years, is told that she will give birth to John, who will become the forerunner, the warm-up act, you may say, to Jesus. Elizabeth believes and is amazed. Her husband, Zachariah, was not so believing when he encountered the angel Gabriel, and he became mute as a result when Gabriel told him what was going to happen. This is the story of John being named and of Zechariah being able to speak again. And at the end, the reading ends, "For the Lord's hand was with him." God was at work in a miraculous way. And clearly that is the case too with the miraculous events of Jesus' birth, the coming of the Son of God into the world. Alongside John the Baptist's birth, these events are simply miraculous. This is huge and wonderful, and may we never lose sight of this wonder, a true reason to celebrate afresh every year. This is all about the coming of God into the world, of God's plan for the world. It's very intricate, and yet it requires human participation. What we may overlook in this reading are the challenges that human players in this story encounter. The challenge of belief and how individuals respond, how God interacts with the world, and how we respond as a result. Perhaps what we can see is that God often acts in ways that we don't expect. That was certainly the case for Zachariah and Elizabeth, and we are all called upon to respond to his different ways accordingly. Now, Zechariah was more reticent to this than his wife Elizabeth, hence he can talk for a bit, yet that didn't stop God acting as he wanted and needed, and very beautifully. Zechariah does again speak and praises God when he fully understands the script of what is going on here. I find that encouraging on two levels. Firstly, when I get stuff wrong that affects what God may be doing, it doesn't stop God acting. And eventually, like Zechariah, I can play catch up with events too. And secondly, in our bleak world today, God is still at work. We may not be able to perceive that. We may not understand until we too are in his nearer presence, yet that doesn't stop God acting within creation. And I find that encouraging and helpful to know and to hold on to in these difficult times. So as we reflect on this reading just before our own celebration of Christmas 2020, may we think about our own response to God's activity in the world today. He is still at work. May this reading, how it shows both human reactions and also the detailed nature of God's planning, increase our own desire to worship Him this Christmas time.